Gantt chart is very much helpful to represent the KPIs. What do you mean by KPIs? KPIs are not nothing but the key performance indicator. So it's a matrix. Basically, it is a matrix. KPIs are something like matrix, which is nothing but the matrix. What do you mean by matrix? Using metrics, we can measure something right? So for example, what is the mileage? If somebody is asking you, what is the mileage of your car? Okay, so let's say you want to buy an expensive car and you are going to do some research, and the expensive car is fine because it has a lot of features in it. But the mileage, when it comes to mileage, you are very particular about the mileage. Okay, and mileage using which you are going to measure, okay, which car is better according to you. Okay, similarly, each department in a company, they have their own metrics. Okay, so one of the metrics is revenue, and other one is the margin, obviously the profit and markup percentage. Okay, markup or markdown or markup percentage and margin, and the net margin. Okay, and cost of goods sold and expenses. Okay, these are the KPIs. The interview, they'll ask you, can you tell me what are the KPIs that uses? You can say revenue. Revenue is applicable for all the type of industry, whether it's healthcare, whether it's hospital, or whether it is a retail, energy sector. Revenue is common. Okay, and then the margin is also common. Profit, right? Profit and the profit percentage, net margin, expenses, gross revenue, all the things they want to see it. With this, they can measure it. So that's why we call them metrics. For example, like human, we have, let's say you are sick, you go and meet the doctor, they have some metrics like heart rate and your blood pressure, and likewise various things, right? Heart rate, blood pressure. So this is a common thing they'll do it, right? So if your heart rate is less than 100, then you are good, right? If it should not be above 100, it should not be less than 70 or less than 60 or so, then something wrong. And BP, they'll check blood pressure. Again, there is some referral range. So with this matrix, this kind of a matrix, with this matrix, they are going to measure, okay, based on the values, actual values of yours, your heart rate, your blood pressure, and with the referral range, they will check it. Okay, your heart rate is good and BP is good. Okay, then you are all set. Similarly, in the case of business, they use metrics, which is nothing but key performance indicators. KPI stands for key performance indicators. The C-level executives, or not only C-level executives, the department managers, different department managers, finance manager, they wants to see what is the profit, what is the expenses, right? They want to see, they want to see that one, and the cash flow. They want to see the cash flow, and how much money in hand, right? So, and money in hand, how much money they have it in reserve. So those kind of things are, they are very particular about. The finance manager, they use different metrics or the KPIs, and each line manager, they use different, metrics. For example, the inventory manager, he wants to see the stock on value, how much stock we have. Okay, the stock, right? Stock, how much stock in units, right? So how many stocks we have it in each category or each subcategory, how much stocks we have it. Okay, so they are very particular about the inventory manager. And sales manager, he wants to see how much sales, what is the sales versus target, right? So marketing manager, what is the actual versus target, they want to compare it. So these are the KPIs. These are nothing but the examples for the KPIs. With using these KPIs, they measure it every once in a month or every once in 15 days, they will measure it. For example, the classic example is you are a marketing manager, and under you, 10 salespeople are reporting to you. Okay, and you want to measure each person's performance because they expect you every month to give incentive. right? You want to see their sales performance. Of the 10 people who has performed well, based on their performance, you decide whether they are eligible for promotion or whether every month you cannot give promotion. Every once in 6 months, right? Based on their performance, you decide whether they are eligible for promotion, or every month are they eligible for bonus or eligible for incentive. Okay, you will measure it, right? They based on the sales and target. So you set the actual and target. You set the target something like for each person you need to achieve at least 50K. Okay, and if they achieve it above this, then they deserve some kind of bonus or incentive. If they achieve it, if they don't achieve it, right? If they if their performance is less, that is what your actual. You set the target as 50,000, but they achieved only 30,000. That means they are yet to achieve 20 more thousand. Okay. So based on which you will measure it. Okay. The actual and target. So in that kind of situation, we use Gantt chart. Importantly, we use Gantt chart to represent the KPIs, sales, profits, or revenue. The Gantt chart as a circular arc. I just show you how to use Gantt chart. It is a little bit different. This is what your Gantt chart. In your dashboard, in your bike or car, you will find the something like this, right? The Gantt chart kind of thing. Here, what I will do is, in this case, just specify, look here. If I go here, value and minimum value. Okay, I just see. So this is the sales, it's 11.30. And we have something else called minimum, maximum, and target value. But we don't have any data available for these three columns or the fields: minimum value, maximum value, target value. For this, we don't have any column available in my data set. Instead, what I do is I can go to the format your visual, and here you can select the gauge axis minimum. You can say the minimum sale supposed to be 5 million. Look here, the minimum is 5 million here. And you need to specify the maximum also. By default, it takes some value as a maximum here. So what I do is the maximum, realistically, we can achieve up to 20 million. Let's say 20 million. Your minimum is 5 million and you define the maximum here. So this is what your minimum, right? So this is what your minimum. Okay, this is what your maximum. You define the maximum here. Okay, you are done with minimum, maximum. And then the target. What is the target you set? The target is, let's say, I set it as 10 million. The moment when I set the value for the target, you can see a needle got enabled here, right? It got, you can see a needle is getting displayed here. So with this, you can quickly understand the minimum expected sale was 5 million. The maximum was 20 million, but the target we set it was 10 million, but now we are way beyond the target. Very good. So with this, you can measure, right, where we stand. With this, you can understand where we stand. Yes, we are, we are way above the target. We have achieved above the target. Good. You can also change the colors here, and you can go here and you can change the color. It is green. Okay, good, because we have achieved above this one, right? The target color is this one. You can change the target color, something like red. Okay, so this is my red, but we have crossed this one. Good. You can also resize it. So now you understood. Similarly, you can you can enable border, everything. You don't have to search where the border is available. Simply you make a guesswork. Okay, what could be the name? You just type border and click on this one, and then make it rectangle. This little bit stylish thing, right? So yeah, the corners are rounded one here. It looks good. Similarly, you can keep it for other metrics also. What is the profit? You just copy and paste it. And now instead of sales, I just drag and drop profit here. Now profit is here. And you go and specify what is the value for this one, gauge axis. You can say the profit is 1.3 million here. And here I say 500,000, something like that. Here, the maximum we expected was something else. Okay, and the target was something else. We just change it. So this is your, so you just keep it, just next to this one. So likewise, you keep, you can stack up more than one gauge chart also, the important gauge. So all these KPIs will be given by your customer as part of your requirements document, which KPIs they wanted as part of the dashboard or report, and based on which even the colors, everything they will tell you, color and font size and font style. You want to use Den, Verdana, or you want to use Georgia, which kind of font that you need, what is the size, everything they will specify it. Okay, simply you need to create it. But if you are a lead data analyst, you will have to do data modeling, everything. And the next one is the single card. We have something called single card visual here. I just click on it once. Okay, it got dragged here. If you want to specify the single value, for example, each city, how much sales we made, Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Pune, you can simply specify that value here. You can specify the sales value here. Okay. And this is the sales. And similarly, you can, or, overall sales, right? Instead of here, it shows the actual, the 11.30 is your actual, and the needle is the target, actual and target. Okay, you can compare the actual with the target. Yes, we are above the target. We have achieved above the target. And sometimes they need something like this. Supposing you are, then, you are selling, if they want, let's say they wanted to see each city sales. Okay, so in that kind of situation, we can use some DAX measure. So wherein we can apply some kind of filter. Okay, this sales is in so and so, or you can use filters also here. If you go here and visual level filter, you can apply it here. And then here, what you can do is you can specify the country also here. You just specify the country here. And then you can do something like, I like USA. I just search United States. You just select this one. This is United States sales. You can filter it that way also. For each country or specific country, they want to see the sales performance. Okay. This is my card visual. Just move this up. On the left side, usually we keep the slicer. The next session will show you how to create a slicer panel so that we can save a lot of space. So again, you can do formatting. So using the card, you can display the single value. So usually we display the revenue and profit and net profit. And we have something called expenses. And we have some other metrics like cost of goods sold. For different metrics, we use different things. And some cases, what they need is the sales alone. They want to display it for a specific country here itself. This is my United States sales. In that case, because I just applied the filter using the filters thing. Anyhow, I'll explain you in the next session what is filters and a slicer, how we can apply a filter to a specific visual. I just select this one. Look here. So now I just drop this same thing country here, add fields here, visual level filter. Here I just say United Kingdom. In United Kingdom, what is the sales here? So this is US sales and this is a UK sales. What are the sales in these two countries? And all the top countries, right? They want to see their sales. But for for each visual, the sales value, the sales column is same, but we have applied the filter for United States and United country specific sales, they wanted to see it. Okay. And along with that, they wanted to see something. But usually in your dashboard, you will have only one thing, sales and expenses, those kind of thing will be there. Okay. But there are something, right? Certain managers that need to see specific countries. Let's say you are the you are a manager for your country manager. You are a country manager for USA as well as United Kingdom. So in that case, in your report, you need something like this, single value for each country, the total sales. Okay. I've shown you how to do visual level filter here. Right. Okay, with this you understood what is Gantt chart and when you can use Gantt chart and how to do the formatting, and also we have seen how to create a single card. And cards are used for displaying the KPI values, the single number. Okay.